Remax LLC has partnered with Inside Real Estate, which is our tech partner for nearly 15 years by way of acquisition of conversion. So we are very familiar with them, and I'm hoping that there will be some really great synergies that are achieved, and will definitely be ahead of the learning curve on this new relationship. So anyway, that's some pretty exciting news. Let me see if when Karlee gets on, if you want to just announce yourself, Karlee. I don't know what number you're calling.
Can you hear? Hi, Rob. Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Yay. Hey, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
So, Rob, do you want me to briefly talk about KB Core?
Let's wait for, we're at only 26 people on.
Okay.
So until we get a few more people on. Karlee, is Maria joining us?
I'm right here.
Yep, she should be up.
There you are, right center. Good morning.
Good morning.
So before we get into the all the details, Maria and Karlee, Maria's our regional manager for and our Tinton Falls manager. She and Karlee are building out a training and agent development team, and that's going to nest nicely with some of the other programs. I see Ron Piccolo right to the left of you on my screen here, who is doing that for us down in Southeast Florida. First, let me see, Maria, can you hear me without the headset? Is the sound okay?
I hear you fine.
I have a headset on.
Okay, no. I just wanted to make sure that everybody on the call can hear me okay.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, it's coming through.
Yeah, you sound good.
So just to FYI, when you're at a vacation destination, the business office is very empty. Anyway, so Maria and Karlee have been working with the KB Core and the products, and ironically, we were transitioning from Moxie Present to Core Present when this announcement came out. So I think it's going to fit in really masterfully with the strategy that we have. And from what I can see, the when you go to remax.com and those connections between our KB Core and the Remax platform will increase the visibility on like Google and optimizing our website, which would in return get us a lot more leads. Plus our we sell New Jersey and latest Florida listings. I think Florida has been in existence for 5 years, that site, and the New Jersey one has been 15 years. So when it's a known site, Google gives it preference. And I even believe when emails go out from a known site that they're less likely to go into spam. And it's also my understanding that a lot of the text or the email notifications this morning might have landed in your spam account or promotions. Does anybody have that issue where it was in your promotions account?
Yeah, to me, so Romnick and I are going to troubleshoot with Zoom today to see why it's not going directly into the inbox.
Fantastic. So we're still light. We only have about 47 on. Let's see. Do we have anyone on from Plantation? I want to make sure that those. Oh, Jim, you got the email?
This is Scott. It was in my promotions also, and I just found it and logged in.
Fantastic. Okay, because I sent it out instead of individually. I sent it out through the office email blast. So I don't know if that might have anything to do with it for there, but all the other offices were getting them through the office blast in the past. So I think that must be a change in the way that Google processes it. Is there anyone that's not using Gmail that can tell us if it went into promotions, just so we can troubleshoot it? We're still only about half the attendance right now.
Rob, I asked Romnick to send a text out to the companies saying to look in their promotions folder in Gmail.
Fantastic.
On my Outlook, it did go into spam, but I do check it, so.
I'm sorry, who is that? I couldn't hear.
That's Jim Snipers.
Oh, Jim, how you doing?
Good. Yeah, so it did go to spam, but I always check it in the morning, so.
Maybe if you create that email that is that it came from my email, Jim?
Yeah.
All right, yes, I'm at, maybe,
I gotta adjust it so it doesn't spam, so.
Fantastic.
I'm here.
So let me turn it to a little bit of a three-way conversation with Karlee, Maria, and myself, so that you can get some insight into what our vision is for what we can accomplish through this new partnership, and even what our vision was before that announcement yesterday. And Karlee is traveling, otherwise she would have been on with video, but she accommodated us by hopping on this via phone. And Maria, we were suffering from low adoption of the Moxie Present, and we were looking for a solution. And ironically, it was right under our nose through the KV Core enhancement. And with regards to KV Core as a complete solution as a CRM, for those of you who are not familiar with how the KV Core platform works, it's one of the, it grew from a program called Conversion. And Conversion was probably the first program I knew that had some features like building campaigns where you can integrate them with text messaging in the campaign. They're working on some artificial intelligence enhancements. They are enabling you, which is, I'm biting my tongue as I say this, there is a mass text capability that you can do, which could be a really powerful resource, but could also turn off a lot of people in a short period of time. We've had instances where agents have sent out hundreds of text messages and we've gotten complaints. So I would encourage you to take baby steps before you do it. And the complaints were, where it was 500 or 600 or even a couple thousand that went out through their database, they've gone to the Real Estate Commission and the state's Attorney General office for like mass texting. And we just need to be very careful about that. So with that said, this program gives us hopefully one solution for your CRM, and especially exciting news if you're a team leader. It has the most robust team platform in the industry, and I think that's probably unchallenged, because a lot of these other CRMs like Commissions Inc. and Boomtown are designed for the team leader to purchase the platform, not to have an enterprise solution, which means if you want to have visibility of what's going on with your team, you need to purchase your own platform. Here, KV Core gives you the ability to manage a team out of the enterprise platform that the company and now Remax LLC is integrating us with. With all that said, I do want to say that whenever there's a technology integration, we always need to buckle our seatbelt and plan on some hiccups. And I think that, we're going to have, access to the resources to solve the problems as quickly as possible. And we have a really committed internal team that will be a liaison for you as we go through this transition. Okay. And I think for us, the transition is probably going to be extremely easier than for other Remax offices that are converting from Booj or other CRMs. So with all that said, Karlee, I don't know if you want to, chime in for a minute or two and talk, and then we'll turn it over to Maria to drive it home. You're on mute, Karlee, if you can hear me.
Hey, Rob, while we're waiting for her to be able to get back in, I sat in on her training in Westfield this week, and it was really good. I actually had done it with Maria before and even still learned a few extra points. So I would even encourage managers and current agents that if they want a refresher to sit on some of these trainings, because I was able to send out a couple of those little videos through Hustle yesterday, and I got some nice feedback for both recruiting and for the sales side.
Okay, and TJ is new to our company. Is it what, 2 or 3 months, TJ?
Coming into the 3rd month now.
Coming into the 3rd month, and he's on our leadership track up in the Paramus market. So I'm glad to hear that you're excited coming from a different brand, looking at what we have to offer. If you've been with us for a while, maybe it's time to take a fresh look at some of these solutions for you.
Rob, I think Karlee is having some internet problems because she had, for some reason, she disappeared. So she might be having.
I'm back on.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
definitely
good for you.
having a lot of problems.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. What was the question that I can help out with?
So I wanted you to just talk a little bit about it, because Karlee has a background in education. She's also a real estate agent within our company, and she's part of our training team. So I just want you to maybe comment about some of the things that you see talking at the agent level in terms of, what you might do, how you might address this without becoming overwhelmed. Karlee, if you can.
All right, awesome. So, hey everyone, good morning. I really am excited about KV Core actually coming into play because, quite frankly, I would say with my education background, I've been a teacher for almost 15 years. I'm pretty tech savvy. And what I noticed was KV Core is super simple and very easy. They offer so many different things that you can do, and I'm discovering new things every single day I get onto that platform. Maria and I decided to create a KV Core weekly. We had an 8-week cycle session, and we've been running them since the fall. And if you hop on to them, I know a few of you have down in Florida and up here in New Jersey. We basically start off with baby steps, just as you would with any new platform that you're learning. Simple things as making sure you have a robust bio in your profile. And that's really important. And Rob mentioned it earlier today, or right before he started, was that website and search engine optimization. And those keywords are things that you establish in your bio because they get pulled into your website. It's a very user-friendly platform. There are a few features in there that can be a little complicated, but when we break down those steps, it won't be as scary to tackle. For example, drip campaigns. And I kind of was losing service when Rob was talking about the massive spam and emails. Now in KV Core, they're canned drip campaigns, but you can actually create your own. So when I was up in Westfield, Carlos Turner had asked me a question about, well, if someone scans my QR code, I want to send them a thank you message right away. I fooled around and I actually did that on my own self. I used myself as an example. And within minutes of me signing up, the message came, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your home valuation report. You can create any touch point that you want within that drip campaign, from you making a phone call to an automated message, whether it's a text or an email. Now, be careful about that. And we'll go into that more in depth and detail about these drip campaigns, because you can accidentally put them into many campaigns. So we don't want to do that. But one of the first and most important things to do after establish your bio and your profile, it's the nitty gritty, and it's super easy, but it's something that I've struggled with myself as an agent. I've uploaded and deleted my lists at least 3 times into KV Core. So you want to make sure you scrub your KV Core list before importing your contacts. Other than that, the possibilities are pretty endless, and you should have seen a few emails from Danielle Coyle and even Carlos just did it the other day, and a few agents down in my office in Tinton Falls, you can promote your listing within the Remax Select family. And then when I, as an agent, get that email, I can match my KV Core leads to those listings. And then I can promote a listing in-house, which is super awesome. So it's, you know, even though the market's shifting, it's nice to see what's happening in the office first before the MLS gets it. Now, in terms of being an agent and using the platform, like I said, it's very user friendly. If I ever have an issue, I reach out to their support team and they are super helpful. And I'm available for you guys for help with it. And if I'm not available, that tech team within KV Core is awesome. So stay tuned for the new cycle of the KV Core training. And Maria and I are in the middle of kind of planning out how we're going to start rolling out the technology trainings. So keep an eye out and do not ignore those emails that come out from myself, Maria, Rob, or Fred, because those trainings definitely will help you out.
Well, Karlee, thank you. And I'm going to speak on behalf of the real estate agent community here. And I want to say that with this technology, agents, let me see here. Nobody on this call, but I've heard about some agents that don't have patience. Now, if you're an agent that doesn't have patience, you really need to kind of take this in steps, because if you're somebody that tries to get it all set up in a week or a day, you're going to be extremely frustrated. You're going to throw your hands up and you're going to give up on it. But what I'm telling you is, with absolute certainty, I've looked at all the different platforms and I was paying for this and I was giving it to everybody that wanted to have an account in Remax Select Group. Okay, all of our offices on my cost, because I believed in the product so much. Now, I will tell you and share Karlee's comment that there are so many things that you can do with this that it can at times become overwhelming. And I think we all need to move into it at our pace. And if we do a little bit every week or every other week, we invest some time into it, by the time 6 months and a year go by, this is going to be an irreplaceable, extremely valuable piece of your business. But if you expect it to be done overnight, and if you have a low threshold for frustration, this can be a disaster for you. And I just want you to have that right mindset going into it. And if you look at it as a mindset, how can I build, you know, a little bit of a block each day? I think that's going to be helpful for you. And if you all expect some hiccups and you get less than you expect, that will be better for you. But this is best in class. This is like the perfect match. And I don't know, you know, how much Remax, you know, valued our input in this, but it's incredibly rewarding to know that Remax looked at our organization and the way that we implemented technology and said that we're going to embrace it at a national level. And for those of you who are, you know, with teams or thinking about having a team, okay, Remax LLC listened to the voices of Maria and our leadership team and myself about, you know, teams. They came out with the teams, Real Teams program, which, you know, we went out to the road show. There were only a few of the agents from New Jersey that were able to attend that, but the content was spectacular. And Remax is also going to be coming out with some announcements for some other enhancements for teams to be able to grow quicker and more cost effectively, and also providing the teams add-on to every team leader in Remax. And I think it might be with 6 team members or more, or it might be all team members. I'm not sure the final details, but that alone, the teams add-on was what, $600 a month, Maria?
Mm-hmm.
So Maria, I don't want to steal your thunder. You've had a lot of experience with training agents. You were, before you came to us, you were working with another brand training. You want to talk a little bit about your vision for how we're implementing this and, you know, share with the group. I'd appreciate that.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I am so super excited. Karlee, Fred, and myself are at the finish line and presenting to the entire company I believe, a very rewarding platform for all of you. We are actually going to have a very robust training for the entire company, and it's threefold. It's going to be tech training, both on the platforms that Remax gives us and what Rob purchases for us. We will have agent development, which myself and some other leadership will engage with in how to use this technology in growing your business. And then we're going to have a very robust orientation, but that orientation is also for those agents who never really had orientation to learn where to find things. One of the things that I've done with Rob's blessings is, you haven't seen it yet, but it will be rolled out very shortly. And that is a very new, clean, sleek version of our hub. So there will be intense training on getting the hub on your side and working for you. So it is super easy to maneuver. What you will see on the home page of the hub, front center, is the training calendar. You will have access to live trainings as well as recorded trainings. So with that said, I am so looking forward. Here's the one thing about Remax and Remax Select. We have so many tools to take advantage of. It can be extremely overwhelming. So with that said, and I'll jump on what Rob was saying, we have to take baby bites, not baby steps, but baby bites. When we have infants, we give them formula, then we go to mushed food, and as the teeth start coming in, we start giving them things to chomp on. And eventually they'll be eating steaks and cleaning your refrigerator out. That's what's going to happen with us, guys. So bear with me, hang in. Within the next 2 weeks, you will have a lot of announcements. I will be going to each office pretty much with Karlee, meeting with the leadership and the offices to get you started on the hub and KV Core. So there you go.
Maria, do they have the avatar still?
Excuse me?
Do they have the avatar on KV Core?
Let me see. Karlee, you can answer that better than I can. She's the
So hold on, Ron, I think you were briefly with another company, right? With KV Core?
Yeah, I have a platform on KV Core that I have a lot of my past clients in that I need to transfer over to the Remax KV Core.
So I think Avatar is from a different implementation. So I don't think that we use that technology, that term with what we have now.
Okay.
So,
But I'm sure there's going to be a way to take all that and export that list and put it into our KV Core, I'm sure.
There are, and I do have a training on that. That's part of the one of the sessions in our cycle is gathering our lists and implementing them into the KV Core format. But I don't necessarily know exactly what Remax will be purchasing for us, but there are a lot of add-ons in KV Core itself, and that particular program might be, or it could be what Rob had mentioned. But there are definitely extras in there, additional things that you can kind of peruse and build along with what you're familiar with, and if there's something additional that you like to do for yourself, your business, your clients.
I have a list of what KV Core is going to look like for us. Give me 1 second and I will give it to you. All right, so here we go. The KV Core platform, you will have the basic, which will be IDX driven for all the MLSs. You will also have Core Listing Machine. They are also adding a design center that's for postcards, flyers, and what have you. We will have Core Present, which will be an incredible, easy not a Moxie, but better than Moxie on steroids, but a lot friendlier to use. And it can be in 3 different sections. You could do buyer presentations, seller presentations, CMAs, or a combination of all 3. You will have the core team add-on for any teams. They will have a special account where the team leader will be able to be accountable for all their agents. And then we have Marketplace. Marketplace is a built-in and fully integrated marketplace for premium add-on solutions and integrated like Property Boost, done for you, lead generation, and more. So KV Core not only is going to promote you, your listings, reaching out to your clients, but it's also going to be a lead generating machine. And that's what Karlee is going to teach on. So you can generate your own leads. And guess what? They're free. Haha, right, Rob?
They're
Free
included.
leads.
They're included. They're included in what you invest in Remax. How's that?
Right, exactly. So I am super stoked on this. But again, we have to take it in strides and very calmly. Okay.
So Maria,
Maria, could I just ask a question?
Sure.
Of Maria and Karlee? Sometimes I can learn more quickly if I'm learning in person.
Yes.
They're going to be in person.
We will
training
have that.
sessions as
Yes.
well?
We will have, we will give that option to the managers, but here's what I'm going to ask. With the price of gas, let's make sure we have a full house when Karlee goes to an office. So it's up to the manager. I am asking the leadership team to make sure that there's a full house. Is that fair?
Sure.
Cool.
You're still going to do it virtually too, right?
Absolutely. So let's say Karlee goes to Pine Brook to be with Robert's office. She will also be on a Zoom with that as well. So those agents will not only have her presently, so after the Zoom, she can work on a hands-on workshop, but she will also have a Zoom so all other offices can take advantage of that learning as well.
Okay, great. It's a
I'm gonna
wonderful
chime
platform.
I'm going to chime in too. If you have the opportunity to come into the office for the trainings, I highly recommend it. It is so much easier to learn in person. It is so much easier for me to teach you in person. We can kind of go through and troubleshoot. I know when we had our new hire orientation the other day, we had a couple agents with issues, so we were able to solve those with me standing right there. It's a lot easier in person, and you can build and make and create right then and there as I'm speaking. So I think if you have that opportunity, definitely come in.
I have a quick question. It's Ellen. I'm sorry I came on just a couple minutes late, and it's I just have clarification. If we're already using KV Core, is there some integration or something else that I am missing that is changing? Like I know Moxie's going away. There'll be an add-on for the presentation module in KV
Right.
Core, but is there something else that I'm missing as far as some other?
No, what you're going to have is a far more enhanced KV Core
Version?
system. Yes. Okay.
Well,
So
Okay.
well, I think having the connection with Remax, so like if you go, Ellen, to remax.com, right, and you're looking for an agent from California, you're looking for somebody in New Jersey, it's going to integrate directly in instead of having to go through Booj or Max Center.
So Booj is going away. Is that correct?
yes,
Yeah.
eventually.
Booj is gone.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
I mean, I got a couple of leads in there, but I
Yes.
never really used it very much.
There's very little adoption with Booj because of its, it's difficult to maneuver, but it's not just with Remax Select. It was, Remax wide. It wasn't a very
It was brand
good.
wide. So that being said, quick question then, and maybe this is just it's a tech question, but Karlee, this is one of the things that I have had issue with, and it's very simple. And the only thing I want to make easier is if you're in a particular file, like in a contact that you can send easily listings. And that was the only thing you can do it. I know you can kind of back end and do it en masse, but that was the only question that I really had that
You
was
can.
annoying.
Yes.
Okay.
You can
All
definitely
right.
do
We
that.
can take it offline, and I can talk to you about that. I'm
Absolutely.
fairly techy and I use
And
it.
that,
So okay, thank you.
Carly,
welcome.
Carly, why don't you put your contact information in the chat?
She's driving.
Maria, I'm driving. Can you do that for me, please?
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Thank you.
So-
But yes, you guys, there are so many features in there. You can do things individually. You can do things mass. Stay tuned for all those trainings. And if you need me more immediately, definitely send me an email. Give me a little bit of time to be able to respond if I get quite a few. I want to be able to go through, and if it's something that I don't know how to do, I'll either A, learn it myself, or B, ask KB Core support. But there's so many neat features in there for you.
Okay, so Maria, if you could send that out as an email.
I'm doing it now.
I'm driving too. Yeah,
Yep.
just send it as an email. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So a couple of other things besides being part of the ecosystem and getting that Google juice from being linked into the REMAX website. The other things I want to mention are the social integrations are crazy good. Okay, like if you're a big social media promoter or you have a good presence, you can put links out on social media to landing pages. You can use QR codes. You can bury the open house printed sign-in sheet, right? And you can have it done electronically on an iPad. And when somebody comes into an open house, they get put into a campaign. I don't know if Mr. Glenn Baker is on.
I am, Rob. I'm here.
Glenn, probably one of the reasons that you selected to come with us was because of our forward-thinking technology and our adoption of KB Core before you decided to take your team to the next level. Am I stepping out of bounds when I make that comment, or can you just share with the group your experience with KB Core and your vision for your team?
Yeah, I mean, we've been using it before we got here, so that was obviously a catalyst to us coming over. We're comfortable with it. I think that's the main thing. But I think outside of that, features and functionality, I'm pretty hard pressed to think of a module that we don't use, especially the open house one. Back when I guess late 2018, when people came in and saw us with iPads at the front door of an open house, they said, what are you doing here? Like, what's different about this? And then when they suddenly got a text message with all the listing paperwork opposed to having to print out oodles of copies of this, I'd rather my folks put out 200 signs in front of the house than print out MLS sheets. So we kind of integrated our whole entire dialogue with clients at open houses around the sign in, the text messaging that they get immediately, and then ultimately the follow-up that KB Core does.
And I'm going to put a warning. Glenn's like an extreme user of KB Core, but how much time would you think it would take for a agent to fully set up using half of the resources, handpicking them, Glenn, over time? Is it a 8-hour, 20-hour journey?
Yeah, I mean, everything starts with the contacts, and I think people overthink it a bit. If you call KB Core, or I should say, if you send them a message on the platform, they'll enter all your contacts for you. So once you have the contacts up and running, then I just suggest you watch the videos and go literally step by step. So first thing is make sure that you have them categorized right. Then you get into a daily habit of sorting them that way. But I think it's really a matter of consistency in how you look at the platform. But to get on your feet with things like that most people do, which is open house, social, and contacts, I think you're probably looking at about 12 to 20 hours of work for the average agent.
And I think attitude, looking at where you want to come out at the end of the day, you really drive what you're looking to do, because I can see, we have almost 90 people on here, and at least a third of you have come to me and said, hey, I need a solution for this or that. And probably 95% of those solutions are baked into KV Core, and it's just a matter of, you know, prioritizing them and figuring out how you want to use it. Because so many of you on this call have your own CRM, you've bought some product or some tool to do something, and honestly, it's all here, and you know, it's not free, but it's included in your RE/MAX association. And it's been something that's been included and been paid for by our leadership team because we believe in it. So, and I see some lenders on here, and for the lenders, it's awesome too, because, you know, unless the program changes, which I doubt, you're going to be able to have lender accounts. Agents can assign leads to you. They can pick a preferred lender, you know, so if it's, you know, Finance of America and you prefer working with Gina or Matt, we can put that as your preferred lender. You can share leads with them in the hopes of working them together. This way, you know, lenders are part of the process, not just, you know, waiting for the transaction to mature. You know, historically, lenders have come in, you know, we've called you when we're ready to make an offer, when we start working with a client and say, hey, can you pre-qualify this person? Through video and you know, drip campaigns, we can bring you into the relationship a lot earlier, and we can partner with you in converting these opportunities together, which really strengthens our relationship, you know, with our partners. So that's something I think is, you know, really exciting. And you know, for I don't know if Jim is on, I see Frank and I see Bruce. You know, you can invest a little bit of time in, you know, getting to add more value to the people that are within our organization. That would be I think a win-win if you go that direction. And again, that's not a additional, you know, upcharge for any of you. That's something that, you know, we want to use to enhance our relationship. And we're at a little bit past 10 o'clock. KV Core also has a marketplace where you can do a la carte stuff. And if you do a la carte, like, you know, buying leads or generating leads through them, the one thing that I would share with you is you just have to measure the result and look at where they're coming from before you go all in on things. Because we have a tendency to, you know, pull out our credit card and say, hey, give me $200, $500 of this product, and we don't really measure how that's performing for us. Because it may be working great in Southeast Florida, but it might not work in Bergen County or vice versa. And there are some, you know, eccentricities and peculiarities of, you know, lead generation, especially if it's through social.
Robert, Rob, can I just mention something very quickly? This should get everybody excited. With Core Present, whether it's a buyer or a seller presentation that you create, there are analytics that you will be getting for every presentation. So if I send Robert Garver a buyer presentation on homes that he wants to preview or what have you, he will not only have access to the IDXs of any MLS listing for that area, but I will get to know which ones he's looking at, which ones he loves, and how many times he's opened the report. Same thing with the seller, how many times, what they've done with that CMA. So you're going to get a lot of analytics. So as far as mortgage guys, hey, lenders, you can take a part of this as well. You will get all the analytics of people who open up your emails.
And just, you know, once you have this database going and you work it, and I know the term like farm, like you have your own farm, used to be a geographic term, used to mail to a farm, and then you'd expect to get a certain number of callbacks and whatnot. In KV Core, your database or your leads that are in there are basically your farm. And if you don't nurture them, you will have nothing to harvest, okay? Having 100, 200, 1,000, 5,000 leads in your database, if you're not working them or if you're not farming them, will yield you virtually nothing. Okay, and I believe you need to, have dedicated time. And, Glenn's a great example. I don't want to put him on the spot, but I know Glenn, spends time in investing and, tweaking his campaigns and analyzing the results. And, those things are necessary in order to have a positive outcome. If you, go halfway and you don't really have a system, it's probably not going to give you the potential yield that it could. I don't know, Maria, if you have something you want to add.
Yeah, part of this new training that we're rolling out, I am going to be conducting sessions on prospecting, using coal, using first the combination, and bringing in that farm area into your KV Core. But it's not a one and done. This is going to be a program where if you commit, you will be reaching out to all of your farm areas at least 3 to 4 times a month. It's going to be consistent, where it's going to reap the benefits of harvesting all those leads. So look out for it. It's going to be called Doubling Down.
So, I mean, there's just so much to talk about. Like, we have the workman real teams. Like, I cannot tell you how blown away I was with all the resources and research that were done for us, right? Like, you'd have to look at, careers worth of material being packed into a program that we just find a way to learn that and disseminate the right content to you at a certain level in your career. You can just follow the program, right? And if you follow the program, there's a history of results that you can get. Okay, but if you try to reinvent the wheel, I think it makes it a little bit more challenging. Okay, there were teams on there, increasing their business 40, 50, 100% annually, and not just doing it for 1 year, because once you have a system, it's easy to continue that system and grow it, right? When you work randomly and everything is dependent upon you, right? You're the rainmaker in your world, most of us on this call. The system's dependent upon you. There's gross limits to where you can go. If the system runs on a solid foundation, you have all the systems to run the business, it's really, there's no end to it, right? I mean, you can have 4 people, you can have 8 people, you can have 16 people, as long as everybody's operating the system, right? Look at other great, businesses like, McDonald's doesn't have really good hamburgers, but it's a really successful company because there's a system to it. Okay, we need to implement systems into our business so that we can have time. One of the things, and I don't know if this struck a chord with you, Maria, but we're all told this story, and I've related to it several times, where he's always on the phone because everything, our girl has to take the call, girl has to do this, and then you have, in his case, his grandson gets in the car, and he's answering the phone, talking, and like all that enthusiasm just got drained out because the family doesn't feel important because the system's not working. Everything is going to him on a crisis level. And that's something I think we all should strive to do, where we can have some better balance in our life, not just bigger checkbooks.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The big bank balance is good, but having the ability to have next year look better, not only financially, but look better lifestyle wise for us. Okay. And, I like to look at, when I feel overwhelmed, can you imagine, like, if you were, and not that I'm making a political statement, whether they do a good or a bad job, but imagine if you had to run New York City, all the departments, all the things that go on there, right? I mean, that would be like, where do you even start, right? It's such a massive bureaucracy, all these services that have to come together. You have the rail lines, you have the road department, police, fire, trash, everything. And somebody is putting all that together and making that happen. And, all we need to do is build out a system, and we have the ability to copy what other great people have done, and people who are abundance oriented and sharing what they do with us. So I don't think anybody's giving bad information trying to trip us up. I think that a lot of people are saying, hey, let me share with you what I've done that worked, that allowed me to serve my clients better and also have a better lifestyle for my team members and myself. And if you can kind of look into people that are doing it, I mean, Maria, there were people doing, what, $1 billion as a team that were working with Burl.
Yep,
That started out doing 50 million,
yep,
and they're following the system,
yep,
right?
and it works.
And, we have talented people, and we can do the same thing. So, anyway, I just wanted to put that out there to say, don't expect it to happen tomorrow, but in 6 months, expect it to be, unrecognizable from where it is today if you, time block and you have a system. And I know that, we don't know everything, but, we're prepared to adapt to any challenges. And one of the biggest hiccups that I think happened with Booj, which I don't think we're going to have with KB Core, is Booj was a great platform in the markets that it was in, but when you throw in over 100,000 agents with probably 500 to 2,000 different MLSs, and each one has different rules on IDX, it becomes an unwinnable fight. And what we're dealing with now is KB Core, who's already done all of those integrations with MLSs, and they know all the peculiar rules of different MLSs, so that these integrations can go, I don't want to say seamless, but they can go a little bit less inconsistent than when you're trying to roll out something across 50 states and a worldwide platform. And lastly, I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping, which is, I'm even wearing my Inside Real Estate shirt today here. And that's the parent company for KB Core. And, that's the vendor that does Core Present, KB Core Listing Machine, and they have that marketplace. So those are all like interchangeable. For those of you who've been here a while, KB Core is like an upgrade from Conversion, which was the platform that we were on for many, many years, well over a decade. And Inside Real Estate is the parent company, just so that you have kind of the decoder ring for technology. It's not like it's a different product. KB Core is owned by Inside Real Estate, is the parent company. Any questions? I also have Fred on, our basically director of everything overseas. Fred, you have a second to pop on?
Morning, everyone.
And are you wearing a KB Core or Remax shirt today?
It's a KV Core, Inside Real Estate.
Inside Real Estate shirt.
Where's mine, Rob?
I don't know. You have to get it. Fred does everything. Fred also, as we grow this, if you want, we're going to try to get some better resources to outsource, maybe some dialing and whatnot through the KB Core platform. We've had mixed results with ISAs, is what we generally call them, who can work in your database. And I think the challenge with the ISAs are they're only as strong as the individual relationships that we have. So if, for example, Scott Kaplan, you want to bring on an ISA to help with your database, you'd be in touch with Romnick or Fred. Fred would have you interview somebody, but an ISA's success is not only dependent upon the ISA, but it's on the relationship between the agent and the ISA. And, if we have an ISA that works for somebody 2 hours a week for one, 5 hours for another, 10 for somebody else, and everybody is working differently, it becomes hard to get that rhythm of success. Just sharing an observation. And I do think that, if you see that in your vision, Fred and Nick can help you get there. And again, be patient, test and measure what's going on, and I'm sure we can get you the outcome that you want. And I've also found that if you want to hire an ISA to do all your phone calls and you don't want to be on the phone calling prospects and leads, it's challenging. I mean, you have to know what you're managing, right? And then Ron, you have your students making calls, right, Ron Piccolo?
Yes.
And if you can't make calls, then you can't appreciate what you're expecting your ISAs to do, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, we hired a couple ISAs, and we found it better doing it ourselves than hiring out someone else to do it.
Yeah, but I mean, if you hire an ISA, you have to invest in it, not just in money, but in time.
Yeah, so all they want is your money. They don't really they don't produce. On the KV Core, because I know Fred was sending me leads. Are we still going to be able to get leads that way through KV Core?
Yep.
Great.
So Rob, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Maria.
So what I wanted to say is, again, I'll be working with all the managers. We're going to be rolling out this prospecting, training session on a monthly basis. But along with that will be a call center once a month in that office. So that's going to give you a great opportunity to get a handle on making your own prospecting calls, which is going to be an awesome thing. Learn the right way where it's not intimidating, and it'll be cool.
Call session, not center. We'll be doing
Call sessions. Process.
And is Shantae, you're on? Can you are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes.
So, Shant, I know you've been doing a lot of outbound calling and prospecting. I observe it from proximity to you in the office there. Have you used KV Core?
No, not really.
Not really, but you definitely have gotten comfortable with prospecting, correct?
Yes, I'm on my way to the office now to do that.
Okay, and can you just share with the group some of your results or challenges that you've had with prospecting? Because I'm definitely a big fan of your effort, and you've involved me in some of them, and I gotta say that you performed really well. I don't even think you've needed me, but we've been a good team. Share what you've been doing and what type of result you've seen, and if you don't mind, even how long you've been doing the business.
Okay, so I've been a realtor for 5 years, but I had a full-time job, so I never fully threw myself into the business until last year in August when I resigned from that job. So now I have more time, and I take advantage of me being fully available to the business. So in the fall I was doing door knocking, but then when winter came, I had to get comfortable making calls because I was not going to door knock in the cold. I've been using RedX for pre-foreclosures. I also have a list of homeowners in Piscataway. So the township that I wanted is the township that I got the list for. And this list I got from the title company in our office, LandQuest. And it's just the list of homeowners. So I got a listing from there by just calling the homeowners and asking the same thing that I do when I'm door knocking. Do you know anyone in the area looking to buy or sell? And this particular couple, they were getting a divorce. And so I actually took Rob with me on that listing presentation. And so I got that listing. With RedX, the pre-foreclosures, I called the family. They were actually looking for an agent, but I think they said they went to blackrealtors.com and they never got back to them. So when I reached out, they thought I was from there, but I wasn't. I was just doing my prospecting. And their house, instead of being a short sale, they're actually going to sell it for more than what they owe. So I I'm able to help them do that. And that one is under contract right now. So I pretty much use the same spiel, if you will, when I'm door knocking on the phone. Do you know anybody looking to buy or sell? And then they end up telling me their story and I'm able to help them. So that's really it.
Well, that's a great story. One thing that Shantae didn't say was that she also got a divorcing couple to actually speak civilly to themselves when one of them was locked out of the house. We had no idea how that was going to go, but it went extremely well, right?
Yeah.
And congrats. What's your goal for business this year, Shantae?
Do you mean income or number of closings?
Either.
Well, I want to gross 85,000.
Okay. And I hope that's better than your full-time job was before, right?
Of course.
All right. I would bet you're going to do more than that if I was a betting person. So thank you for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
So any other questions or comments?
Yeah,
Before we close out this session, I just wanted to just alert all the New Jersey agents that the state is imposing new regulations on the inspection of rental properties with regard to lead paint. I'm going to be doing a webinar next week outlining all of the necessary steps and the information that we as agents need to have.
Rob, okay.
Hold on.
Marcos.
All right, unmute yourself, Robert.
So, as I said, I'll be doing a webinar next week outlining the program and what we as agents need to know in order to tell our owner landlords to be prepared. The new rules go into effect July 22nd. So please, there'll be an email going out telling you when the webinar is going to take place. And I urge all of you to try and log into it because it's information that we desperately need to get out to all of our owner landlords.
Fantastic. And Maria, are we going to have a dedicated spot like we do for Friday at 9:30 for the rollout or the training with you and Karlee?
Yes. So what will happen is when the hub URL will be the same, but when you go to log on to your hub, you will see front and center. The very first thing you will see is the company training calendar. So in there, you'll be able to click on any day, register, and have access to the link immediately. Now, all those trainings will also be recorded automatically, and there will be a library for all the trainings as well as all the masterminds, Rob.
So can we log on to KV Core now and just browse, or do we have to wait?
Well, most of us have KV Core accounts through Remax Select, and they're not the corporate ones. If you haven't already signed up for one yourself, you can do that. Reach out through, I would say in Florida, reach out directly to Romnick or Fazia to get that connection. And I think most of us in New Jersey are on the KV Core as well. And I think we probably have 60 or 70 people in Florida on already on the platform. So I don't know if there's going to be any minor changes, Ron, once the, I'm sure there will be, but hopefully there will be positive connecting us through corporate. And lastly, Maria, will that be like maybe like a Tuesday at 10 o'clock so that everybody can kind of have it in their calendar? Because I think if you're not on KV Core, like Ron, if you're not, or if you're on, but you really haven't been optimizing it, you maybe come on to these sessions and put it into your calendar as a time to educate, to invest in yourself, to learn how to better utilize the platform. and have the ability to talk to others and say, hey, I did, you know, the homework from last week. This was my challenge. And I'm sure some of your peers or Karlee can help you get that resolved quickly.
Mhm.
So if we're already on KV Core, there's nothing we have to do. It'll automatically integrate to the corporate,
It should.
assuming.
Well, I mean, the announcement just came out yesterday, so I don't know if there's going to be any glitches, but I don't anticipate that they're going to have us reset up our accounts. I'm sure they have a better solution than that, and I'm hoping that basically it's like our account just gets nested under the corporate account, and we get that juice from being connected to, you know, the top brand in real estate.
And
Yeah.
from what I understand, Rob, it's not going to happen until Q4, the transition.
So yeah, so you, again, be patient.
Mhm.
But we just want to keep everybody in the loop. And, you know, our managers, if you haven't already, you can set up a session to do a little bit of business planning with your, you know, branch manager, your office manager. And in that process, talk about how we can add value to you and help you design a implementation strategy that's realistic and attainable and helps you achieve your goals. All right. So thank you. We're now at 10:30. I'm going to wrap it up unless there's any last minute questions. Maria's got her email on there, her contact info, and apparently the invitation I sent out today was going to social promotions. So we're going to see if we can solve that. But every Friday at 9:30, just type in the word Mastermind. You'll have the subject and you'll be able to come to the link. We anticipate the link staying at this link here, which is the
Yep.
Zoom link.
And it'll be on the calendar for every Friday.
Yeah. So I appreciate you all coming, and have a productive rest of your day and an awesome weekend.